brownfield airports, the GMR Group is set to transform the aviation landscape of Andhra Pradesh. The GMR Group is building a world-class airport at Bhogapuram, strategically located at the border of Visakhapatnam and Vizianagaram districts. This international airport is going to be in proximity to Odisha and Chhattisgarh with a large catchment area and will have multimodal connectivity. This airport will cater to the rapidly increasing passenger traffic and cargo movement at Visakhapatnam. The Bhogapuram Airport will be future ready with a strong focus on environmental sustainability. It is set to drive growth and provide impetus to tourism and economic development in the region. Welcome aboard the Bhogapuram International Airport.
As I said, we could see the emotional and personal touch in the airport designing, sir. And thank you very much for bringing such a world-class airport to Visakhapatnam, sir. We're all looking forward for the inaugural very soon, sir. Now, I request the topper of the batch, like our Bharat Garu, the highest majority in the Andhra Pradesh, our Honorable MP, Bharat Garu, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Rajesh Garu. I think once we enter Parliament, whether we win with 5 votes or how much of it doesn't matter. We're all colleagues. We're all working for the good of the state. To all the dignitaries on the dais and all the guests in the audience, thank you for attending and the full house. I just want to address Mr. Raju to begin with. I was just looking at numbers. The GDP of Visakhapatnam is 10th in the country, but in terms of airport traffic, we're 27. So there's a huge gap that needs to be filled. I think with the leadership of the GMR Group, and if you saw the AV, they're marketing Vizag as much as we should, right? So they will bring traffic here. It's good for business. It's good for the local environment. So I think the challenge that we would request you to take on is that let's at least match our GDP number and come to the 10th highest air traffic destination in this place and then start beating that. And our challenge today is that they are running so fast that we are playing catch up to provide all of the support infrastructure to them. It's very likely that the airport will be completed well within 2 years. 18 months, Rajgar? Yeah, 18 months is the... Huh? So now the big question is, how do we reach this airport? Because now this airport is very convenient for all of us who are in the city, take the port road and you go. The beach road at Beamley becomes, transitions from 4-lane to 2-lane. And the national highway that goes to Srikakulam is now being connected to the airport with the initiative of the GMR Group. But from the city, how do we connect to the highway? We are looking at 2-3 different alternatives because the overall beach road upgrade may take a little bit longer. But at least convenience of travel to the airport is something that will be done immediately. The other thing I think that the city must do, and maybe it's not relevant to everybody in this audience, is our international air cargo, which was stopped in the airport, has to again restart. We have to take that up because a lot of high-value products are today being transported to other airports, and we're losing out on that economic activity here. So we'll definitely do that. And the MRO will request again Rajgaru to take it up because that will bring a lot of high-skilled jobs to this environment, and we'll be very keen. I'm glad that you mentioned it. I think as far as finance is concerned, everyone who's thinking about any major infrastructure project is, it's like the dream, right? Build it and they shall come. So the economy is growing. There's a lot of positivity. There may be the ones who are over-conservative will always have questions on what's going to happen, but I think fortune favors the brave. And I think the brave move that the GMR group is doing is it goes beyond emotional, I'm sure it's going to do very well financially. And I think it will be a shining light for the greater Northern Andhra. And many other points that are being covered today, just want to give some inputs and some requests. Our DISCOM here, EPTCL, which is going to be represented later on, is one of the best performing DISCOMs in the country on many metrics, even within the state. I just had a review meeting with them recently, and we discussed about uninterrupted power supply to industry, to the greater ecosystem, and I think we're getting very close to that. A lot of improvements that are happening over there. A very important project which I would like to raise awareness through on this platform is this PM Suryagar project, where rooftop solar is being encouraged in a huge way, and subsidies are being given to the extent of almost 50%. And it is to apartments, to individual homes, and they want to do 1 crore homes in the country. I would like to take on a target of Andhra Pradesh at least doing 10 lakhs of that. So through all of you, I think please raise awareness in your communities. I think it will be great if we can really take that on, because that will really reduce the burden of electricity on this, electricity cost on this state. On the internet and electricity cabling, we have a huge outlay of UG cabling. I think we will complete it within the next 2 to 3 years. And you will see the greater Visakhapatnam area will not have any exposed electricity wires at the end of this project. So we're very keen to complete that. It will transform not just the utility, but the aesthetic, and it will also make us disaster proof. Now, a very small percentage of the city is completed, but a large part remains, and we will be completing that also. As far as the port logistics and road connectivity is concerned, some of you may be aware, the Sheelanagar to Sabavaram road is under construction. It will be completed very soon. The Convent Junction to Sheelanagar road is also sanctioned and the work has begun. That will also be completed soon. So I think a lot of the truck traffic or the cargo traffic will be exiting the city without damaging passenger flow. And in terms of major infra, the spinal highway that connects Anakapalli to Beamley through the city, where we have major traffic junctions, all of you experience those traffic issues. There are 12 proposed flyovers on this road, and we still have NHAI helping us with this. So we, in a recent review meeting with the Chief Minister was very kind to agree that we will merge those 12 into 3 elongated elevated expressways. So it will be akin to an elevated highway with entries and exits in multiple points. And on top of that, we are planning a metro. So basically it's a road, a flyover, and a metro on top of that. Complex design, but I think if we don't build it now, then when? And very glad that the ministers here also are very keen. Lokesh Garu was just saying that if you don't build it now, 10 years later, it's going to be 5 times as expensive or 6 times as expensive. So whatever pain we go through now. So we're very determined to do it. We're just working out the logistics of the design and the cost. And I think if it comes through, the center of the city will have huge relief. We want to satisfy short-term challenges of traffic management and completing the flyovers, but also not damage the long-term. That if we think only short-sighted, then within 10 years we'll run out of infrastructure again. The metro, right now, phase 1, I think in principle approval is there. I think formalities have to be worked out, but last mile connectivity will come up over time for sure. And the last point on housing, I've been requesting in every meeting that I've been going to that let us go for vertical housing. Let's not do ground G or G+1. Let's go G+10, G+15, because land in Visakhapatnam has become so expensive now. And if you look at any global example of growing economies like China and other countries, they've all gone vertical. And for us, we sometimes don't do that, but I think, again, the government today is thinking very progressively. And the officers are also now innovating on how do we use low-income housing projects and innovate in them to build high-rise towers. So a lot of work happening. I think the respective ministers are here, and I'm sure they have their inputs to the audience. And what was said by, I think, Rajesh Garu, it's a very young team, young ministers, all ready to go. 17 of the 24 ministers are first timers, and all are younger than, out of that 17, I think 12 or 13 are less than 45, less than 50. So I think this is a transformed environment. The optimism is tremendous. We look to all of you to be a partner with us in this journey. And because teamwork is extremely essential, we don't want to work in isolated pockets. Let's speak to each other. Please share feedback. I mean, as far as Vizag is concerned, I'm always available to you all and would welcome the inputs. That's why I have given you this information today, so that you all will have some related aspect to the points that I've mentioned now. And feedback from you will be helpful as we further define these projects and move forward. So with these few words, thank you for inviting me, and appreciate this platform to share these ideas, and look forward to hearing from our distinguished guests. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat Garu. Devudi kadaminchinappude varamuలు అడగమంటారు. So today we need two roads, sir. One is airport connectivity and one is port connectivity, sir. I request our Honorable Minister for Roads and Buildings, B.C. Janardhan Reddy Garu, to deliver the address and sanction two roads for us.
Honorable Minister, Sri Nara Lokesh Garu, honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests and industry's leaders, and good morning. It is my privilege to be here today of the CII Infrastructure Summit 2024, a platform that brings together visionaries and key stakeholders from across the sectors. I commend the CII for organizing this critical forum, which enable to discuss opportunities for infrastructure growth, innovation, financing, and collaboration. Infrastructure catalyst for national and state level growth. Infrastructure sector is the backbone of India's economic development, as we aim for a USD 5 trillion economy. The role of infrastructure cannot be overstated. The national infrastructure pipeline, with its massive outlet state, this is the stage for transforming India's physical infrastructure, laying the foundation for accelerated economical growth and global competitiveness. In alignment with the national aspiration, Andhra Pradesh is also carving its place as a leader in infrastructure development. Our state is evolving rapidly, with significant investments in force, airports, road and economic corridors. Major projects such as the Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor, Hyderabad-Chennai Industrial Corridor, Chennai-Bangalore Industrial Corridor, and the development of green ports and are driving our infrastructure ambitions. Opportunities in ports, logistics and economic corridor. Andhra Pradesh is blessed with a coastal line of 1,503 kilometers, offering immense potential for related development. We are working to establish 4 new greenfield ports, including Ramayapatnam, Machilipatnam, Bhavanapadu, and Kakinada Gateway, with a total investment of 17,605 crores. These ports, coupled with multi-modal logistic hubs and well-integrated economical corridor, will enhance India's global competitiveness by reducing logistics cost, currently standing at 14% of GDP, to a more globally competitive 80%. Global trade competitiveness depending on reducing the cost and by improving logistics through port development. We are positioning Andhra Pradesh as India's maritime hub. Airport catalyst for regional and global connectivity. Airports' important role in facilitating both passenger and cargo movement, thus acting as key enabler of growth. Bhogapuram International Airport, our flagship project, is set to define air connectivity in the region, not only enhancing passenger traffic, but also significantly boosting cargo logistics. This airport will serve you to a gateway to global market, analyzing with our broader objective of integrated ports and airports with economic corridor for seamless movement of goods. Moreover, under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, we are focused on revealing existing airports and enhancing infrastructure to meet growing demand. In addition to upgrading current facilities, we have plans to develop new airports which will further increase air traffic and attract global investors to Andhra Pradesh. This development Republic the commitment building world-class aviation infrastructure. Public-private partnership (PPP) and innovative financing. The infrastructure challenges we face also come with financing demand to traditional method of financing or evolving, and you must leverage innovative model like public-private partnership (PPP). And in Andhra Pradesh, we are already embracing PPP models, yes, especially within the port of airports sectors, facilitating the development of critical infrastructure with private sector participation. Clean energy and piped natural gas distribution. In line with our commitment to sustainability, we are facing significant efforts on the integration of clean energy across various sectors. One key innovation is the fired distribution of natural gas, which is receiving strong invitation under the guidance of the Honorable Chief Minister. This initiative aims to provide reliable and stable energy, ensuring that Andhra Pradesh continues on its path processing and sustainable growth. Urban infrastructure and housing for future state. Organizing is fast becoming of the key drivers of infrastructure demand. Andhra Pradesh is preparing to address by focusing on urban infrastructure and housing, ensuring offices cities are future ready, implementing public-private partnership in innovation financing. The infrastructure challenges we face allow come with the financing demand. The traditional method of financing or rolling, and we must leverage innovative model like public-private partnership. In Andhra Pradesh, we are already embracing PP model, estimated report and airports sector, facilitating the development of critical infrastructure with private sector partnership. Urban infrastructure and housing for a future-ready state. Organizing is fast becoming one of the key drivers of infrastructure demand. Andhra Pradesh is very ready to address this by focusing on urban infrastructure and housing, ensuring our cities are future-ready to implementing smart city solutions, housing and modern urban mobility system. We are aiming to provide a world-class infrastructure that enhance the quality of life of our citizens while meeting the increase of the rapid growing economy. The road is filled with opportunities. I will wait all of you partners with us as we connectivity deliver towards building a future-ready, robust and sustainable infrastructure. Under the leadership of Sri Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, our CM. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind address. So wherever we go across the country, everybody is saying you have now got the current excellent position. వడ్డించేవాడు మీరుంటే చివరినున్న వస్తాయన్నారు. Right now, Andhra's situation is that we could get whatever we want, only we need to pay, sir. I want you to make that wish list and look out for a lot of deliverables, sir. Swarna Andhra Pradesh 2047 is the theme set by you, sir. Today we want to make 20 steps towards that Swarna Andhra Pradesh. I request Chief Guest to deliver the inaugural address, Mr. Nara Lokesh, Honorable Minister for HRD, IT, Electronics and RTG, Government of Andhra. Thank you.
To all the dignitaries on the dais and to all the guests who made it all the way to Visakhapatnam today, very good morning. It's a privilege for me to be part of this infrastructure summit. For the state of Andhra Pradesh and particularly for this government, infrastructure is very close to our heart. In the past, you have seen the magic that Mr. Naidu has done for Hyderabad. And we started on that journey after the state got divided, but had a small speed breaker for 5 years. So we have a lot of catching up to do as a state. And it's really inspiring to be part of such a summit. I see policymakers, I see business houses, and of course see all the funders here in the audience. So I think we have a perfect partnership now to actually get Andhra Pradesh and more so India going. As you're all aware, under the leadership of Mr. Naidu, Andhra Pradesh was one of the fastest growing states in India, and we now need to make up for lost time. We are aligned with the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Vikasit Bharat. We are coming up with our vision for our state. In 2047, we want to be among the top 3 economies in India, and that will be powered by good infrastructure. You know, it's very important to have a very collaborative outlook among all the players here. Post the bifurcation of the state, we have become a smaller state, a residual state. But I believe it gave us great opportunities to look at decentralized development. You know, we've always said we'll have one capital, but we will decentralize development. So I'll give you a few examples of what we've come to achieve in 5 years and what we want to achieve. Anantapur, which is in the southern tip of Andhra Pradesh, is one of India's most backward districts, and we are making it the mobility hub of Andhra Pradesh, and we have Kia already operational there. Kurnool, which is again a Rayalaseema district, we are making it again a center for renewable energy. And Mr. Naidu in the RE Invest has made it very clear that 72 gigawatts of renewable energy assets will be created in 5 years in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And we're looking at it with pump hydro storage projects, the windmills, and of course solar coming in a big way. Coming to Chittoor and Kadapa district, we're looking at both the districts predominantly from electronics manufacturing. The world's largest TV panel manufacturer, TCL, is already there. A few of the other players are now coming in, and you'll see that entire region going into hyperdrive in terms of electronics manufacturing. Prakasam district is one district that we are very much focused on biofuels. Now you're hearing whispers all over about biofuels, but we want to be ahead of the curve. We're already talking to a lot of the players in this industry, and we had a series of meetings about it, and you will see that district predominantly focus on biofuels as a thrust area going forward. Of course, Krishna Guntur districts is the capital region. It'll have their own growth story. As far as the East-West Godavaris, which is, as already highlighted by my speakers before me, they're actually number 1 in India in terms of aqua production. So massive investments need to be done there to make aqua sustainable. So getting the drainage system on top of things, the surface transportation, the roads, infrastructure, which has been ignored for the last 5 years. How do we create a sustainable model there? And that's been our focus. And in the East-West Godavari districts, you will see a lot of focus now coming into green energy. So it's a lot of chemistry. So I didn't do that well in my school days in chemistry, but green ammonia and various other products are going to be actually generated there. The entire petrochemical corridor is going to come in that region. And coming to North Andhra, where we're actually seated, this is going to be the hub for IT as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned. We will make this not the destination in India, but in the world for data centers and AI. And with that vision, we are working. That above, there are some serious work that's being done in terms of a pharma hub. I shouldn't make announcements ahead, so we're going to come out with it in a very bold way. We're going to create a pharma hub here. It already is a pharma city, but we want to one up that, create one of the world's largest hub here. Defense is another great opportunity that we see here. And under the leadership of Rajagaru, Bogapur Airport will transform this entire region. So I saw the video and, it was really goosebumps in that sense. A lot of passion has gone in from GMR Group in terms of designing it. And of course, they are working extremely hard to sort of get the first plane to land and take off from here. So really excited on that. And if you look at, as part of this development plan, we already have 4 operational ports. We're getting 3 new ports coming into Andhra Pradesh. We are working on airport connectivity where all the districts should have minor airports to feed into the larger hubs. And in the erstwhile, between 14 and 19 under Mr. Naidu's regime, we've done a lot of work in getting greenfield airports. Bharat did escalate a point about cargo in Visakhapatnam. Bharat, one of the leaders from here only messaged me, and I spoke to the Honorable Cabinet Minister of Civil Aviation and said it's his responsibility to get it started. He said, give me 15 days, it will be done. So we are going to get that also back up and running. See, infrastructure is not just about roads, airports. It's the way we connect with each other. A road makes a lot of difference in terms of connecting one community to the other community. All of you here have the power of figuring out how cities should grow, how cities should interact, how can we create equitable distribution of wealth. As all of you know, Mr. Naidu is never governed by pressure groups. He is always governed by the interests of the people. And one example of this is the Hyderabad airport. Under the leadership, of course, of GMR Garu. Though they won their tender, and this is very interesting, I don't know how many of you know this. This Hyderabad airport was the first airport of GMR Group, and they won the tender in a very competitive bid process. But Mr. Naidu refused to award it to GMR Garu. And the reason he said that you don't have the experience. I'm genuinely worried because I look at Hyderabad airport to, like our Dubai airport has transformed Dubai. Hyderabad airport has to transform Hyderabad. So after winning the bid, GMR Garu had worked doubly hard to win the hearts of Mr. Naidu. And look at Hyderabad airport today. They are set for the next 60, 70 years. They don't need to look at next acre of land. And that's the kind of vision with which, your government is working here in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We see in other states where already major cities are talking about second airport, third airport. And those airports were built about the time of Hyderabad airport, and one city built it after Hyderabad airport or modernized it, if I can say. But now they're talking about second airport. So we end up spending a lot more money, and connectivity is leading to nowhere. So I would urge all of you to look at it from this perspective, where how do we bring people together? How do we take a city forward? How do we take the nation forward? I always keep saying, as a country, we end up building infrastructure for yesterday. Like I truly believe that, Bogapuram, Visakhapatnam needed an airport good 10 years back. We're actually late. And as Bharat said, we are working on the connectivity. That was my question to Bharat. From the airport to the hotel, in the hotel, almost 15 minutes, I was talking purely about connectivity. Because I know GMR will deliver on the airport. We have to connect it. And we're really committed to that. And it's important for all of us who are seated here to think about what is the infrastructure that India needs tomorrow and build it today. Because as all of you know, the cost of projects are going to double every 4 or 5 years. There's a debate about Visakhapatnam Metro, and I clearly stated that we have to build it today and not 5 years from now, because the cost is only going to double. It's as simple as that. So it's very important that as a nation, and all the thought leaders here lead this discussion and definitely work on building infrastructure for tomorrow and not for today or yesterday. Saying that Visakhapatnam is going to be our economic capital, we are working on a project to create $1 trillion economy in one greater Visakhapatnam region. As a state, as a government, as our leader, is very committed to Visakhapatnam and its growth plan. You will see a lot of money coming into the infrastructure here. I empathize with the entire freight corridor that we need to build, because I did a Padayatra, I walked through Visakhapatnam, and I still remember this was the only city where my collar got black at the end of the day, and I remember speaking to Bharat about this very closely. So we need a dedicated freight corridor, and that's something that we're committed to and working on here in Visakhapatnam. The Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor is already up and running. A lot of work was done in the previous third term of Mr. Naidu as Chief Minister. We intend to finish it, attract investments to the nodes, and create an economic transformation here in Visakhapatnam. Ease of doing business is of the past. What Mr. Naidu is now talking about is speed of doing business, cost of doing business. So I'll give you an example of this. Yesterday I was meeting a company, because I can't name them yet, about an investment in Andhra Pradesh. We're talking about the incentives. I had the power to challenge them, saying that Andhra will be our lowest cost of energy in 2 years. That's because we have a fantastic policy in terms of renewable energy and the pump storage policy. And we can give the lowest cost of energy here. We see that as a strategic advantage for a state to attract investments going forward. Like this, we want to come up with unique propositions that will make our state competitive and will enable all the entrepreneurs here not only to survive but thrive. That's the first part. The second part is the speed of doing business. This is something that Mr. Naidu has coined, and that's why the real-time governance minister. So, I have 3 portfolios. First is human resource development, second is IT electronics, third is real-time governance. So real-time governance is where we tie through all departments and start creating avenues to ensure that the speed of doing business and the ease at which you can do it should be truly delivered in spirit and not on paper. So I'm already talking to all the platforms, the WhatsApps of the world, Telegrams and so on and so forth, where we want to streamline the way government interacts even with entrepreneurs. Government interacts with business fraternity. Government interacts with citizen. So we're going to transform the way, and we believe it will be first of its kind in the nation, and we're going to launch it in the next 100 days. As far as IT electronics, Visakhapatnam is going to be our IT hub. We intend to make this the data center capital of the world. And AI is like the refinery. So AI will follow, and we're going to back it with green energy. So you can see how we're marrying everything together and transform Visakhapatnam. Saying that new policies are on its way, the IT policy, the GCC policy, the data center policies are being crafted, and we intend to launch them soon. Parallelly, we have revived the Economic Development Board. Economic Development Board will be the single port to call for any investor, any financier here into the state of Andhra Pradesh. It's being led by a very young IAS officer, but the entire team under him are IITians, IIM grads, and other youngsters who come out of Ivy League schools driving the entire initiative. So they will be your single point of contact. So you don't need to call me or even BC Janardhan Reddy or Bharat. They will be a single port to call. And you'll be amazed that Economic Development Board is going to be under the Chief Minister in the General Administration Department, because the work there is going to cut across multiple departments. So while I'm going and chasing data center investments, they need green power and they want to do parallel investments in that. So I need to chase the energy minister. So it's not going to be like that. The economic development will be the single port to call, because all the businesses are cutting across ministers and ministries. So we are reviving that, and we intend to deliver on the speed of doing business promise. And as Bharat said, a lot of work is going to be done in Visakhapatnam. We're really committed to this amazing city. It's unfortunate in the last 5 years we slipped a position in terms of economic activity. We were the 9th largest economic city and we slipped 1 position, we came to 10th. One thing that Bharat didn't tell all of you, because he knows I'll hold him accountable to it, is our vision to transform Vizag to the 5th largest economic city in India. So Rajugar has a lot of catching up to do, clearly. So in terms of traffic also, we have to aim not to be number 10, but number 5. And I think a lot of work needs to be done. As you rightly said, with Air India now being privatized and of course being under the leadership of the Tata Group, and I think close to 250 flights have been ordered. Under the leadership of Chandra sir, there's a lot of excitement into Bhogapuram and what work they want to do. In fact, I think it was 2 days ago that we had a Zoom call where we discussed about, Bhogapuram, MRO, and of course my intention was about your, the cricket stadium here, the marina here, so we had a very long discussion on the way forward. And, we don't look at Bhogapuram purely as an airport, as Bharata said, MRO, and look at the region's largest MRO. And beyond MRO, we were discussing about why all the equipment required in an airport cannot be manufactured in Bhogapuram. So that's the kind of vision with which we want to work with the GMR group and really transform and create jobs as a region. All of you know it's been just over 100 days since the new government here formed in Andhra Pradesh. And our first promise out of the 6 promises we made to the public is to create 20 lakh jobs. So the single agenda with which your government is going to work is on creating jobs. So who creates more number of jobs will get the greater red carpet possible. It's not just about the rupee value of investment. For us, we really want to attract, job creating companies. So I would request all of you to look at Andhra Pradesh from that perspective. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming all the way to Visakhapatnam, being part of this summit. I know there's some exciting topics coming ahead, and I did take a look at it, that clean energy is one big topic, and that's something that's going to be very close to our heart. And we're going to work in terms of delivering that. So thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for having me. And I look forward to having all of you and being part of the journey of Vikasit Andhra Pradesh. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your time, for your leadership, and for your motivation, sir. Look forward for making Vikasit Andhra Pradesh very soon, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request our Ajay to get a vote of thanks.
Before vote of thanks, we have Vizag is organizing a marathon on December 5th with 5,000 people. And this is with regards to mental health. They would like to do a postal release. Please. There's a limited edition publication by CII IGBC. This book features best case studies, about 100 best case studies of green buildings. So I request Dr. Murali Krishna Garu, Chairman CII AP, to hand over the coffee table book to Sri Nara Lokesh Garu. I also done. Both of them. Hold on. Shri Nara Lokesh Garu, Honorable Minister for Human Resources Development, IT, Electronics and Communications, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Shri B.C. Janardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for Roads and Buildings, Infrastructure and Investments, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Shri Bharat Garu, Honorable Member of Parliament. Shri GBS Raj Garu, Business Chairman, Airports GMR Group. Dr. V. Murali Krishna Garu, Chairman, CII Andhra Pradesh. Dr. E. Shankar Rao Garu, Convener, ESG Panel, CII Vishakhapatnam. Shri Grandi Rajesh Garu, Chairman, CII Vishakhapatnam. And Shri Jayesh Garu, Regional Director, CII Southern Region. Friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues from industry. It's a privilege to stand before you here during this event, which is of focus on importance, finance, growth, and developing future. On behalf of CII and my personal behalf, I thank all of you for participating at CII Andhra Pradesh Infrastructure Summit today. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to Shri Nara Lokesh Garu, Honorable Minister for Human Resource Development, Infrastructure and Investment, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Sir, having you here with us today is indeed a pleasure and honor for us. Sincere thanks to B.C. Janardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for Roads and Buildings, Government of Andhra Pradesh. I also would like to thank Mr. Sri Bharat Garu, Honorable Member of Parliament, for taking his time to join and address us today. I would like to thank Shri GBS Garu, Business Chairman, Airports GMR Group, for his keynote address. I like to thank my colleague Dr. V. Murali Krishna Garu, Chairman, CII Andhra Pradesh, and Grandi Rajesh Garu, Chairman, CII Vishakhapatnam, for presence and address. I thank Dr. E. Shankar Rao Garu, Convener, ESG Panel, CII Vishakhapatnam, for championing the summit and delivering the theme address today. I would also like to thank our sponsors for coming on to the board: GMR Group, Kakinada SEZ Limited, Vijay Nirman Company Private Limited, Bothra Shipping Services Private Limited, Mangal Reality, Patel Engineering Limited, Sri Tirumala Steel Enterprises. Our annual sponsors: Devi Seafoods Limited, Pfizer Healthcare India Limited, Laurus Labs Limited, Chettinadu Cements, Jindal Urban Waste Management. Last but not least, I thank all the participants, friends from media, for participating in this important summit. Thank you once again. So Dr. Murali Garu, please present the memento to Shri Nara Lokesh Garu. Rajesh Garu to Shri B.C. Janardhan Reddy Garu. So we'll have a break for 5 minutes and then reassemble for the following section, right?